I just want to know how many Palestinian children, how many killed Palestinian children will it take for you to call for a ceasefire, Eric Adams? That's all I want to know.
Bring the hostages home.
Wow.
Hey guys, how are you doing? This video is going to be about Om Mantra. And Om Mantra is allowing us to perceive new things from different realities. King Solomon is saying, nothing is new under the sun. Right? Sun is like Manipura, is 2 kidneys and 1 bladder. So if nothing is new under the sun, then there's something new above the sun, right? Anahata, 2 triangles. And if we're seeing the higher triangle, it's the salivary glands. Saliva, salvation, salivation, salivate is to create salvation. In Hebrew, it's 9, 9, 9. 9 is going up, 6 is going down. And what I'm trying to say is that in the Hebrew gematry, Jesus is tongue. It's the same mathematics. Yeshua is Lashon. And it's also carbon dioxide, CO2. What we want to understand by that is when we're doing Om, the most important syllable to open up the self-realization, because self-realization can come only from above and then going down to the controlled hell. You got heaven state coming from here and going down easily to the body, going to the beast and allowing you to take charge of whatever is going on. So in this video, I'm gonna give a fine example to solidify the understanding about Om Mantra. So we got A for the stomach, we got U, you can feel it in the rib cage, you can feel it in the sternum, and we got and it's for the whole lymphatic system, because you're locking a wave, a sound wave in the body is locked. Okay, the letter M in all languages, it looks like a lightning or like a wave, and it is always the 13th letter. Okay, 1, 3, 13 letter, and this 13 in Hebrew, it represents love and oneness, united, to be united. So when we're doing stretches or yoga, when we're stretching our strings, if you're allowing ourselves to try to find the vibration or try to find the frequency of the string that we are pulling. It could be from the leg, it could be from the hand. Every string has a different kind of frequency related to the stretch that you put in it. If the stretch is stronger, then the frequency should be higher. If it's lower, if it's a fine, like easy stretch, then basically you go down with your voice and you find it in the lower frequencies. What I'm trying to say about the esoteric of Om is that there is another lock that we can do. Not just this lock, to feel the spine opening, but there's another lock with the tongue. If the tongue comes to the roof of the mouth, it is not anymore, it is l, right? L, like Allah, right? In Hebrew, the letter L, Lamed, it is about learning. It's also about God. L in Hebrew, it's God. You can take the L from the 7 to the 6 to the 5 chakra to the 4 chakra to the 3 chakra to the 2 to the 1. The L goes to all chakras. Okay, this is your body. This is L is a representation of something in the body. All the letters, we ought to understand them. Ought in Hebrew, it means letter. So when we go into the letters and we want to understand the letters, we are actually going to understand ourselves, because the letters, the esoteric of the letters is about the anatomy of the human beings. So when we're doing the Om and we are allowing ourselves to crucify the tongue to the roof of the palate. Palate in Hebrew, it's the same letters as power. So you gain power, koach, from your palate, chech. So you take the Jesus. So only by doing one, I created a pool of saliva, a spring of salvation. According to the Taoism, this is an exercise that is not related to Kabbalah or the Gematry, but you can integrate it all together. So according to the Taoism, the ancient Eastern Chinese medicine poets, scientists, they combine it all together. They say that if you know how to control your salivation glands, your salivate, if you know how to maintain a pool of saliva and swallow it in 3 times, then you know how to create your own medicine and eternal life. So this exercise is just about taking the tongue to the palate and to create a vibration in the palate that will go up and will clear and decalcify the pineal gland, so you can have an integrated kind of a pine, right? This is your pineal gland, and this pine needs to be loosened with the vibration. So we got this triangle, pineal gland, 2 salivation glands, and we got the kidneys and the bladder. Their combination with some tension, intention, some stress on the body. It's not really stress. You're dissolving the stress when you're putting intention and tension on the body. You can use drishti, you can do a gaze, shimbawi while you do it. Then you will have the no mind state that is acquired for healing. But the most important one is to understand that we can create our own water if we use the right circumstances. Hydraulic pressure, water coming from nature, and the most important is bladder that is full. When the bladder is full, you can manipulate the water wherever you want. So yeah, it's about working with the Muladhara, getting those water up. The tongue is touching the roof of the palate. And if you do it for more than 20, 40, 50, 108 times, you can breathe from your skin. So it's better not to do it where I'm right now. I'm in a room. Better to do it in nature, so you can really absorb the negative ions and relinquish the positive ions. And with that, to get out of the mental prison, get out, you can get your prisoners out, which is your thoughts. And your thoughts are the ones that are determining what's going to happen in your country. In Hebrew, Medina, which is like a country or government, govern your mind. It is the same letters as the mind. Okay, the mind and the country is the same. So if the mind of the individual is shaken and disturbed, eventually the whole country is going to be shaken and disturbed. It's about the one, it's about the family, it's about the tribe, and then it's about the country. But first it starts with the individual. The path of the individual is to understand that there's a need of self-realization, not just work, not just money, not just competition, but also self-realization. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this video, and let's go on.
Wherever a human being becomes silent by his own nature, not school teacher silence, not plugging your ears silence, if you become silent by your own nature, sound will reverberate in the system, because the root sound for your physical existence is sound When reverberates, it starts from just beneath the navel and ends at the tip of your nose. This reverberation will just happen by itself. So wherever a human being truly sat quietly, utter quietness within himself, he always became aware of the sound Sound has innumerable benefits. Even today, if anybody come here with any kind of psychological disturbances, the first prescription is always You do this for a few weeks, you settle down and then we go into other aspects. I can show you hundreds of people for whom medically it was believed that they have to be on psychiatric medication for the rest of their life, have completely walked out of the need for medication simply by uttering If you are suffering from excessive fear, distorted dreams, bad dreams, nightmares, unstable mind, unstable body, if your general constitution is weak, you tend to fall sick too often, particularly children, if they have attention disorders, daily utterance of for a few minutes a day will make an enormous difference for you. If you have problems that you are unable to do anything with a certain resolve in your life, daily utterance of will be truly transformational for you. Within a couple of weeks, you can notice a phenomenal difference in the way you function. You open your mouth and say gently close your mouth, it becomes oo, you close it, it becomes because this is the basic sound in your physical existence.
To the Lord give praises, for His good, His love endures forever. Let the redeemed of the Lord tell the story, those He redeemed from the land, from the hand of the foe, those He gathered from the lands, from east and west, from north and south. Some wandered in the desert wastelands, finding no way to a city where they could settle. They were hungry and thirsty, and their lives ebbed away. Then they cried out, Zakatam, to the Lord in their trouble, and He delivered them from their distress. He led them by a straight way to a city where they could settle. Let them give thanks to the Lord for His unfailing love and His wonderful deeds for mankind, for He satisfies the thirsty and fills the hungry with good things. Some eat in darkness, in utter darkness, prisoners suffering in iron chains, because they rebelled against God's commands and despised the plans of the Most High. So He subjected them to bitter labor. They stumbled, and there were no one to help. Then they cried to the Lord in their trouble, and He saved them from their distress. He brought them out of darkness, the utter darkness, and broke away their chains. Let them give thanks to the Lord for His unfailing love and His wonderful deeds for mankind, for He breaks down the gates of bronze and cuts through bars of iron. Some became fools through their rebellious ways and suffered affliction because of their iniquities. They loathed all food and drew near the gates of death. תתאב, כל אוכל תתאב נפשם ויגיעו עד שערי מוות. כל אוכל תתאב, תתאב, מתחת לענן. Then they cried to the Lord in their trouble, and He saved them from the distress. He sent out His sword and healed them. He rescued them from the grave. Let them give thanks to the Lord for His unfailing love and His wonderful deeds for mankind. Let them sacrifice thanks offering and tell of His works with songs of joy. Some went out on the sea in ships. They were merchant on the mighty waters. They saw the works of the Lord, His wonderful deeds in the deep. For He spoke and stirred up attempts that lift high in the waves. They mounted up the heavens and went down to the depths. In their peril, their courage melted away. They reeled and staggered like drunkards. They were at their wits' end. Then they cried out to the Lord in their trouble, and He brought them out of their distress. He stilled the storm to a whisper. The waves of the sea were hushed. They were glad when it grew calm, and he guided them to the desired haven. Let them give thanks to the Lord for his unfailing love and his wonderful deeds for mankind. Let them exalt him in the assembly of the people and praise him in the council of the elders. Usually the assembly is about the intestine in Hebrew. That's how it's just translated. He turned rivers into a desert, flowing springs into thirsty ground, and fruitful land into a salt waste. Because of the wickedness of those who live there, he turned the desert into pools of water and parched ground into flowing springs. There he brought the hungry to live, and they founded a city where they can settle. They sowed fields and planted vineyards that yielded a fruit harvest. He blessed them, and their number greatly increased. He did not let their herds diminish. Then their numbers decreased, and they were humbled by oppression, calamity, and sorrow. He who pours contempt on nobles made them wander in the trackless waste. But he lifted the needy out of their affliction and increased their family like flocks. The upright see and rejoice, but all the wicked shut their mouth. The upright see and rejoice, but all the wicked shut their mouths. Let the one who is wise heed these things and ponder the loving deeds of the Lord.